Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive. Today we're going to be taking a look at box breathing.
It's a technique that's gotten super popular for helping people chill out, focus better, and just find some peace.
Yeah. And, it was really popularized by Mark Devine, a former Navy SEAL commander.
Right.
But what's really cool is that it actually goes way back, like way, way back to these ancient practices.
Like you're talking yogic pranayama, things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're going to really unpack it, like what is it, why does it work, and how can we use it to just kind of level up our lives?
Yeah, that's really the key, right? Like, how do we actually implement these things? So it's one thing to talk about these techniques, but how do we actually make them, practical for people?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's start at the beginning, like box breathing 101. What is it?
Okay. So picture like a box in your mind.
Okay,
It's got 4 equal sides, right?
I got it.
And each side of that box represents a different phase of your breathing.
Okay,
Inhale, hold, exhale, hold.
okay, that makes sense.
And you do each of these phases for the same count. And we usually start with 4 seconds. So you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. And you just keep repeating the cycle for a few minutes.
So it's literally like you're tracing the sides of a box with your breath.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that. I like that visual.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what's going on inside our bodies when we're doing this? Why does it have this profound effect on our stress and our focus?
Okay, so this is where it gets kind of cool. We're actually tapping into our parasympathetic nervous system when we do box breathing.
Oh,
And that's basically like the opposite of our fight or flight response, which, we all know and love
right.
when we get stressed.
Right.
So it's like we're hitting the brakes on that whole adrenaline rush
Okay.
and allowing our bodies to kind of shift into relaxation and recovery mode.
So it's like giving our nervous system a timeout.
Exactly. And this shift actually ripples throughout our whole being. It slows down our heart rate, lowers blood pressure, eases muscle tension.
Okay, so that makes sense. It's no wonder people feel calmer and more focused after doing this.
Exactly. And there's research to back this up too.
Right.
Studies have shown that even short bursts of box breathing can reduce anxiety, help you sleep better, and even boost your brain power.
That's awesome. It sounds like something literally everyone can benefit from.
Yeah.
But I know some people listening are probably like, yeah, okay, that's great, but when am I supposed to squeeze this into my day? I'm busy.
Yeah, right. It's okay, one more thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But the cool thing about box breathing is that it's super versatile. You can do it anytime, anywhere.
So we're talking before a big meeting, during a crazy commute, or even in the middle of the day when the kids are going nuts.
Yeah. All of those are perfect times to sneak in a few rounds. You don't need any fancy equipment.
Right.
Or a meditation room or anything.
Right.
Just find a comfy spot, close your eyes, and start tracing that box with your breath.
I love that. It's like having this portable stress buster on hand.
Right. And the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to access that inner calm and focus whenever you need it.
Okay. This is making me rethink my whole pre-presentation routine.
Uh-huh.
Instead of frantically going over my notes, I'm going to try some box breathing.
I think you'll be amazed at the difference. Instead of feeling scattered and overwhelmed, You'll go into it with this calm confidence and clarity.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try it. Now, before we move on, I want to talk about something I thought was super interesting from the stuff we read.
Okay.
The idea of combining box breathing with journaling.
Oh, that's a powerful combo. When you
Right.
pair those calming effects of box breathing with the reflective practice of journaling, you get this synergy
Okay.
that can really deepen your self-awareness and make you feel emotionally better.
It's like you're giving your thoughts and feelings a space to just breathe and be processed, right?
Exactly. And this can be really helpful for people who struggle with anxiety or just feeling overwhelmed or having racing thoughts.
Right. This is making me rethink my whole journaling routine too.
Oh, yeah.
I've always found it helpful to write down my thoughts, but I can see how adding box breathing could take it to a whole new level.
I think you should definitely give it a try. You might be surprised by the insights and clarity that come up when you combine these two things.
Okay, this is already so much more than just a deep dive on breathing. We're talking about unlocking this whole other level of calm, focus, and self-awareness.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to go deeper into this world of box breathing. We'll be back soon to explore more benefits and techniques. But in the meantime, why don't you experiment with what we've talked about so far?
Yeah, try a few rounds of box breathing and just see how it feels.
Right, exactly. We'll be back soon for part 2 of this deep dive on box breathing. Until then, stay curious.
Yeah, keep that curiosity going. Welcome back. I hope you all had a chance to try some box breathing.
I did.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even just those few rounds helped me, like, come back here feeling more present and focused. It's kind of crazy how quickly it shifts my energy.
I know, right? It's pretty amazing how fast it works. It really shows you how powerful this technique is.
Yeah. I'm really intrigued by this whole combining it with journaling thing we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, me too. And I think this is something that's especially relevant for our learner persona listeners, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
They're always absorbing new information, processing complex ideas, trying to make connections. It's got to be mentally exhausting.
It is. My mind's like constantly buzzing with new thoughts and questions. Sometimes it feels like information overload.
Totally. And that's where the synergy between box breathing and journaling comes in. It's not just about calming that mental chatter, but creating space to really reflect and integrate all that knowledge you're taking in.
So it's like taking a step back from that constant influx of information and actually letting ourselves digest it.
Exactly. And that's where the journaling comes in. By putting pen to paper after a few rounds of box breathing, you're basically creating a bridge between your conscious and subconscious mind.
Ooh, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
It's like we're building a pathway for those aha moments to emerge.
Right. And here's another thing. Studies have shown that box breathing can actually enhance our creativity.
Really?
Yeah, by calming down the prefrontal cortex, that part of our brain responsible for planning and decision-making, allows our more creative and intuitive faculties to come forward.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
When we're stressed or overwhelmed, our minds tend to get stuck in those well-worn grooves of thinking. It's like we're on autopilot. But box breathing helps us break free from those patterns and see things from a new perspective.
Exactly. It's like hitting the reset button on your creative potential.
This makes me think about all those times I've hit a wall with a project or felt stuck in a creative rut. Maybe what I needed wasn't more coffee or another brainstorming session, but just a few minutes of box breathing to clear my head.
I think you're on to something. We often try to force creativity, but sometimes what we really need is to create the space for it to emerge naturally.
Right.
And box breathing, combined with journaling, is a powerful way to do just that.
I'm starting to see how this could be a game changer for anyone looking to improve their learning, creativity, and problem-solving skills.
For sure. It's all about giving yourself the tools to deal with life's complexities with more ease and clarity, and resilience, too.
This is all so fascinating, but I know some of our listeners are probably thinking, okay, this sounds amazing in theory, but how do I actually make it a part of my life?
Yeah, it's a great question. We live in a world where everyone's vying for our attention, so it's tough to prioritize self-care practices like this. But the key is to start small and be patient.
So instead of aiming for an hour-long meditation session, maybe just try 5 minutes of box breathing a couple of times a day.
Exactly. Even just a few minutes can make a world of difference. Try it first thing in the morning, maybe, to set a calm and focused tone for your day, or before bed, to wind down for a good night's sleep.
And what about journaling? Any tips for making that a more consistent habit?
Same idea as box breathing. Start small. Don't feel like you have to write pages and pages. Just jot down a few thoughts, feelings, whatever comes to mind. You could even use prompts like, what am I grateful for today? Or what challenges am I facing?
Maybe even combine the two practices. Do some box breathing and then spend a few minutes journaling.
Absolutely. That creates a nice flow from one practice to the other. You could try incorporating it into your morning or evening routine.
I love that. This whole discussion has really highlighted something important. Consistency is key.
It really is. The more we weave these practices into our daily lives, the more we'll experience their power.
It's like building a muscle, right? The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Exactly. And the more resilient you become to life's challenges.
Oh, speaking of resources, I wanted to mention that free 30-day morning breath journal from the source material. It sounds like a great way to kickstart a daily practice.
It does. It combines box breathing with guided journaling prompts, making it super easy to stick with. We'll make sure to include a link in the show notes for anyone who wants to check it out.
Awesome. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive. We explored the connection between box breathing and journaling, how it can boost creativity and problem solving, and the importance of making these practices a part of our daily lives.
Yeah, we've given everyone a lot to think about and try out.
Definitely.
I can't wait to wrap things up in the final part.
Me too. We'll be back soon for the last part of our deep dive on box breathing. Until then, keep exploring.
And remember, even a few minutes a day can make a big difference.
And we're back for our final deep dive on box breathing. We've really gone deep on this, huh?
We have. From the science to combining it with journaling, it's been fascinating, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for this last part, I really want to make sure we address any, I don't know, any myths or misconceptions.
Oh, yeah. Good idea. Gotta bust those myths.
Exactly. And leave our listeners with, some solid takeaways, things they can actually do.
Give them that knowledge and inspiration to make box breathing a regular thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so one myth I hear a lot is that box breathing is only for, people who are already into meditation or mindfulness.
Oh, we gotta clear that up right away.
Yeah.
Box breathing is actually a great starting point for anyone who wants to try mindfulness but maybe feels a little intimidated by all the, more complicated stuff out there.
Right, it's like a gateway.
Exactly. Simple, accessible, you can do anywhere, anytime, no special equipment needed.
I like that. Okay, another one I hear is that it takes a long time to see any results.
Oh, not true at all. You can feel those calming, focusing effects after just a few rounds, like right away.
Yeah, it's like a mini vacation for your nervous system.
Aha, I like that.
Right, you can de-stress in the middle of a crazy day or shift your energy before a big meeting.
Absolutely. And, the more you do it, the easier it becomes to access that calm and focus. It just gets faster.
Speaking of consistency, there's this idea that you need to do it for long periods of time for it to be effective. What do you think about that?
Another myth. Even a few minutes can make a difference.
So don't let time be a barrier.
Exactly. Better to do a little bit regularly than try to cram in a long session once in a while.
It's about those little moments of mindfulness sprinkled throughout your day.
And I think you'll find as you experience those benefits from the shorter sessions, you'll naturally want to do more.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's about tuning into what your body needs.
Exactly.
Okay, I want to address one more. This idea that box breathing is only for stress and anxiety.
Ah, yes. It's amazing for that, but its benefits go way beyond just dealing with stress.
Totally.
Focus, sleep, creativity, even emotional regulation. It's a tool you can use for all sorts of things.
It's like a Swiss Army knife for your mind.
Haha, love it. And it highlights that this isn't just a reactive thing like when you're already stressed.
Right.
It's a proactive thing you can do every day to feel calmer, clearer, and more resilient.
Okay, so to sum up, box breathing's simple, easy to learn, works fast, and has tons of uses. It's something everyone can benefit from no matter who you are or what your life's like.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about taking charge of your own well-being, creating a life filled with more peace and vitality.
Before we wrap up, any final thoughts to inspire our listeners to give this a try?
Okay, well, first, remember that being consistent is what really matters. Even just a few minutes each day can make a huge difference.
Start small, right? And gradually build up.
Exactly. Make it a habit, something you do regularly.
And don't be afraid to play around with it. Try it in different situations, see how it impacts you.
Exactly. Notice those subtle shifts. It's amazing how much this simple technique can affect you.
And remember, box breathing's just one tool, right?
Right.
Combine it with other things like journaling, meditation, spending time in nature.
It's all about creating a holistic approach to your well-being.
Beautifully put. Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dive on box breathing. It's been so great exploring this with you.
Likewise, I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to start their own box breathing journey.
Me too. Remember to stay curious, keep experimenting, and always prioritize your well-being. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.